like the final one. Then we're gonna eat something, you know. We need to think of what we're gonna eat, you know. Mic check, mic check. Oh. All right, guys, we're back with another episode today with the wonderful High Tea Podcast. I'm your host, your guy, Robert Storms. Gonna be your guy with the mic. All right, as has been a little bit since I posted the last episode, let's now head in to the next one. And I mean, I don't like to really wait too long to start off these episodes, so I'm just gonna start them off straight up. Also, I don't like to waste you guys' time. I personally find the podcasts where they get straight to the point are the best ones. I feel good. I feel amazing. The energy is high. Then let's get this party started. Topic will be really specific, even in a quote. You're the greatest project you'll ever work on. Restart, reset, refocus as many times you need. Before I start reading about the points, that has to be one of the most best or relatable quotes I have seen in a long time, just purely because of the fact that investing time into yourself is your number one priority, especially before you start anything, even before you start your business, dating, anything. If you have problems with yourself, you're going to see these problems in business. You're going to also see these problems in dating, as there's also this quote that says, you don't have business problems, you have life problems. That's why your business is not becoming better. So there's something missing. There's going to be clearly some evidence that you're going to be able to see. The first topic that we're going to talk about is don't waste the 6th year on a mistake just because you spent 5 years making it. Start over and upgrade, not a failure. Just because you have started off bad or you started off on the wrong foot, it doesn't mean that you are going the wrong path. The path may be different. The path may not be straight, and it will never be straight. It is never going to be this, right? It's never going to go one linear way up, right? Most of the time, or I would say always, it is like this and then up all of a sudden. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, after that 3rd, 4th, 5th month, all of a sudden, it just skyrockets. Suddenly it just clicks. You get lucky, your consistency pays off, and your work is finally being noticed by other people. And that's what's the biggest issue in this, is that we don't really take care of our opportunities well enough. We think if we failed all those previous 3 years or we had a bunch of mistakes, we will never be able to recover from them. But in reality, we can clearly see that you can just restart. You can refocus, but you can spend and use all that knowledge that you have gained from this past few years into this specific problem. The reason why most people have more success into their 2nd, 3rd, 4th businesses is because they know why the first one, 2nd one, 3rd one failed or didn't see as good of results. They take that experience and they would achieve a lot more than you ever could if you didn't have those mistakes. As I have this quote, or there is this quote, smart people learn from their mistakes, but wise people learn from others. That's why they read, and that's why they educate themselves. The second point, I would like to connect it with the previous point a bit, which would be using the knowledge from your previous experiences and using them for the present ones. I like to call this the version 2.0 mindset. You aren't starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Every reset is just a software patch for your life. Every single year, a person can get a buff or a nerf. Same as in video games. A card or a specific playable character can get a buff or a nerf. And that all depends on how they improve. If you believe you're doing healthy habits, you're going to become more healthier. You're going to become better looking next year. It will be a buff. But if you eat junk food and you think you're living peak life, after that year, you will see a nerf into yourself, into your genetics. All of a sudden, you're not the same. Also, the same goes about knowledge. Let's just say I failed all the past year, right? I can use that past year's failure and experience that I received to my this year's new patch, new update, new software improvements. best quote that I can say, as you can see, I'm a very big quote fan. I would say remember quotes, because quotes can save your day one day. Trust me. The more quotes you know, the more wise words you'll also be able to know. Also, I believe it's very cool to know a bunch of quotes. So now I don't remember how the quote went. I was about to say it, but I forgot. All right. Either way, let's continue. I'll remember it and then I'll tell you guys about it. But the idea of self-improvement is pretty simple. It is not sexy. People love to see or try to find the sexy answer on how to achieve specific points of their life. The answer is not sexy. Most people who genuinely succeed in their life, they stick to habits. They stick to the basics. People who do the basics will have very good results because they know that their base of their structure will not fall. They're going to spend enough time with themselves, and they're going to spend enough time building themselves up. Not from nothing, but already from something. You don't need a new, maybe, laptop to start working or other technology. Maybe you need some new friends. Maybe you need a new mindset. That's for sure. But if you've had all these experiences, you can use them for your own benefit to improve yourself. I know it sounds like I'm technically saying the same stuff over and over again. And the reason why I'm doing this is because Marcus Aurelius, one of my most recent discoveries from a learning perspective, from a philosophy perspective, growth perspective, if you really pay attention to his philosophy, it is simple. It is simple. As they call it, Stoicism. It's very simple. It is not complicated. That's why I remember Michael Smoke also has this quote, as he says, "It ain't simple." No, he says, "It ain't hard, but it's simple." No, I said it wrong again. Okay, either way. His idea is that if life is complicated to you, you're doing it wrong. And you're not going to do it. And you're not going to improve on it if your life is complicated. Things that are complicated are not doable. It's very, 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 very hard to go through life when you don't know what you're doing. And when you try to make everything harder than it seems. The best answer is the straight up answer and the non-sexy answer. As unbelievable as that seems, but if you have the correct answer in front of you, which is basic, like if you want to get bigger, go to the gym, eat more. Lift heavy, lift heavier every next time, lift more reps every next time, increase the weight or increase the reps. It's simple. It is not a beautiful answer. It's not a sexy answer for sure, but it is the answer you need to hear to make progress. And when you start to understand it, you're going to finally make progress. It is not about the exercise. It's not about the angle too much. It's about just doing the work. And if you have the knowledge from the past, take it. Don't just leave it out there. Take it and put it into today's perspective. Which brings me now to the next point, which I actually didn't write down. I'll just spontaneously going to talk about this. Don't leave, bro, Robert. Okay, that was a bit too emotional. That's why I said it wrongly. Don't live in the past. And don't live in the future. Live in the present. So many people don't move on in their life. They don't grow because they live in the past. They have had past bad experiences and they take those past bad experiences into their present moment, which their present moment becomes the future. Every single second that you watch this video, it becomes the past. What I said, I cannot really change it. I mean, I can edit it, but I'm talking from a non-editing perspective. I cannot unsay what I say. I cannot undo what I do, but I did them. It may be a good decision, maybe a bad decision, but it's going to be a decision. Either way, if you're not going to do any decision, any choice in the making, you're not going to be making any decision. So you're literally just standing on the same path and not improving or improving from your mistake. Then what is the point of not even trying? Because living in the past can ruin your mindset in a way that you don't really think that improving other perspectives in your life matter. You're too worried on your past mistakes. My biggest issue that I had for my life was trying to fix past mistakes or trying to bring them in my present moment, which most people do. But when I started finding but when I finally started having this goal, having this destiny that I was willing to go to, a goal, a future goal, but I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about the daily habits I need to be doing to get to that point. I will never think about the future. I'll think about the current state, what I need to do to get there, but I will never think about the future. Because if you think about the future, let's just say I want to build a house, right? If I think about how the house is going to look all the time, ain't this going to make me feel as it's so far away from me? It's so far away. You need to make the base of the house. You need to lay the bricks, the foundation. That sounds tough. I'll be focusing every single day on the day tasks. I do the day tasks, you do the second task, third one. Complete 3 to 5 tasks a day, the most important tasks. And I'll make sure, and I'm pretty sure 100% you'll achieve your goal. But you first need to do the present moment goals. Just the present moment goals, not the ones 5 years from now. You can move and work towards them. But if you use your past mistakes and you're afraid to make your present mistakes because of your past, if you said it wrongly, if you're afraid to do your present choices because of your past mistakes, you're going to make the wrong decision again. You're going to have, again, a bad experience, which is going to become your present. And your present becomes your future. And now finally, as I skipped this step, but now finally for the last point that I was trying to make before the previous one, which just spontaneously came into my mind, I just thought it was a perfect fit there. As I said, the most authentic podcast out there, the most real. The audit. What is the audit? You are allowed to quit things that are no longer serving you. Refusing is a sign of intelligence, not weakness. If that friend doesn't serve you anymore and he brings you down, you don't need to spend energy on that no more. Cut it off. As rude and as mean as that sounds, cut them off. If you don't see progress because of a specific thing that's happening, if you see that you're not building progress because every single day you ate Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which is 1,000 calories, then don't eat it. Just don't eat it. Cut it off. The easiest thing to not do for a human being, the easiest level of discipline is not putting spoon in your mouth. If you cannot stop putting food in your mouth, I'm sorry, I will never take you seriously. Because to do it, you have to do something, right? It's not that it is randomly just in your body. You force yourself to do it. That's why I always think about like lustful things. If your For You page isn't half naked girls, I'm sorry, but you're not going to keep your dick in your pants. It's just simple as that. And then you say, oh, I can't. My energy is so low, because you're spending it on girls that don't even care about you. They don't even know you exist, but they make money off you. All those views, all the time you watch them, all the likes, yeah, you. The likes, yeah. You know, that BBL, you know what I'm saying? But come on. She doesn't even know you exist. There's no value in it. It is just pixels on screen getting you excited there, buddy. Just pixels on screen. How down bad is that? And that is some real talk right there, because that is some serious conversation. You're getting excited over some pixels? Bro, come on, where's the discipline? That is not serving you. That is putting you below your true values. And if you're not going to fix it, you're going to fall down until it's too late. And when you're going to finally be able to fix something, you're going to be too late. You're going to be too old. You're going to have maybe a family. And you're going to keep on having the same basic mindset, the same basic habits as they were before. That's why I so specifically always talk to my friends, when you see something's not serving you, cut them off. Just cut them off. I cut off my past friends, most of them. That was the greatest decision of my entire life. My greatest decision. Because they were bringing me down. They said every idea that I did was bad. They said investing money into yourself is the biggest scam of all time. And then what I said to him, would you rather earn money every single month and then just spend this money on the same stuff all the time, more worth it? And they said, well, yeah. And I realized that I'm making the right decision because mediocrity, no, I said it wrong, incorrectly. Mediocrity, yes, I think I said it correctly. Just don't be mid. That's what I'm trying to say. Being mid, you're average. Who wakes up and says, I want to be average? Nobody. And on that note, guys, I think it's good to end. I think this will be a good note to end on. This was a bit more aggressive talk, more maybe based on my male viewers, more people who are men, because the truth is, what you get, what you have earned right now, is what you deserve. You don't earn more money because your intelligence level doesn't allow you to. You don't bring yourself enough opportunity to genuinely make more money. And the only person to blame there for that mistake is you. And when you're going to finally be able to change it, you're going to be finally able to become a different man, a different person. Same goes for girls, guys. When you're going to finally take more responsibility about your diet, maybe. And I'm not saying you have to eat salad. People who say they're on diet and they eat salad are just scamming themselves. You can eat whatever you want to eat. It's just you have to eat less of it and eat it in a calorie deficit. As I have the saying, if you ain't tracking, you are slacking. That's why track your calories. Don't track all your life. Track for half a year. Half a year of tracking your calories is like $60. Dude, $60 is like nothing. And if you're afraid to spend $60, then I'm sorry, man, you have the wrong idea about life. That is the first step you need to be investing into yourself. Because you have to believe that the investment you make, money-wise, on yourself is going to have a return ratio to yourself. Okay? All right, and now let's check out the steps. As I always share some steps with you. And today I have 3,241 steps. So need to hit almost 7K steps. And think of some new ideas for you guys. Either way, thank you guys for listening. Appreciate all of you. Have a blessed day whenever this episode is going to be released. But have a blessed day. Have a blessed night. Try your absolute best every single day. And remember, I'm watching from afar and rooting for you. So keep your head up and stay sharp.